people. What's good? Salute, salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. We're a niche channel. And reserved for the best is super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comic. What's good, everybody? What's happening? What's going down? This is the 6th element of hip hop. I am your host, Pino Noir. Today, my co-host is Sada, and we got a special guest in the building, Spadenomics, former co-host of the DC Power Hour and current host
What is
to
up,
the
everybody?
booth over there. Yeah, man. What's good with you? Broadcasting live from the Huntsville COMICON
here at the Huntsville Pop Culture Expo here in Huntsville, Alabama. It is day 2 of this con, and the end of day 2 with this con. And take it around for a quick tour. Reno, if you don't mind, show up some stuff.
I would love that. Man, it looks just like the Galaxy Con I went to in Virginia. Same kind of expo, you know, same kind of hall, big place or whatever you call it. Wow, they even got windows.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
What's good? Cosplaying in the building.
Yes, sir. The Huntsville Pop Culture Expo Con. We almost coming to an end, but we will be back. So everybody show up. Everybody need to come on, show up, get y'all's autographs.
And who are you cosplaying as right now?
It's crazy. Yep. You gonna be here tomorrow? Yeah, I'll probably be Pepsi Man tomorrow. Okay then. I'm gonna dress up with me tomorrow.
Hey, Spade, ask him who he cosplaying as right now.
So yeah, man, it's been wild though.
It looked like the Spectre, you know? Look like Spectre. Yeah.
Yo, Spade.
Look like Spectre.
Spadenomics.
Hey, Spade, grab me that Star Trek joint right there, man. To your right, man.
Stu, I think you got to turn your camera on so you'll pop in.
That one right there.
Hang on, let me pan over to the right a little bit. Spade, let me check him out. Spade, let me check him out.
Oh yeah, you got the.
Ooh.
Yo,
that's hot.
That is hot. I like that Klingon symbol right there.
Man, he got some cool stuff.
Yeah, you gonna have to definitely.
Hey, can you hear me all right? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I see your ear.
Wait a minute. Got something to show y'all.
It's super loud in there. They can't hear us.
Ooh. Look at that.
Wow.
Even got
all logos.
Oh, I would get those green lanterns.
Batarang.
Yo, those batarangs dope.
Yeah, I would get that gray one or grayish white one.
I had to show off some of the stuff to my friends, man. They look. Like I said, I'll be back to get some.
Yes.
So are those all made of metal? Are those all metal? He can't hear nothing I'm saying. Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think it just might be on his end.
Yeah.
It's real nice. So yeah, that's a little bit of the Huntsville Expo. I've been doing some videoing. I'm posting here on YouTube here in a minute. Well, not in a minute, but like in about a week or so. Soon we get everything edited.
Right.
We got He-Man, Transformers. Everybody got a title belt except for me. And I'm the one that used to do the rest.
Yeah, where's your belt at, man?
But
I would love to interview you.
I hate to cut it short, but it's about 15 to close the time, so I got to break down my food.
Oh no!
And I might not be home in time to get back on the show, but I'll tune in and watch the replay of y'all.
Damn.
Okay,
all right, man.
All right, and day 3 is tomorrow. 3 is tomorrow. So hopefully it got some deals going, but y'all will see like some more lives, and like I said, get this thing tape, get it all edited and put together, and to be on channel 187 on your YouTube channel.
Where's Cooks at?
So tune in, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure.
Where's Cooks at?
Huh?
Where's Cooks at?
He had to work today, so he'll be here tomorrow.
Oh man, I was hoping we'd get to see more of the expo.
So yeah, we'll do another live shoot tomorrow. He'll be here.
All right then, man.
All right, man. I gotta roll. I'll see y'all later.
All right, thanks, brother.
Bye.
Peace.
Uh-oh.
Well, that sucks.
Aw, we got to see a smidge of it.
Yeah, we saw a guy in a cape. We did see one caped guy.
Yeah.
Ah, there we go. Boom. There we go.
There you go. Bam.
There he is.
No, when he had Spade up, it wouldn't let me activate my camera for some reason.
Oh.
That's strange.
Yeah. Well,
Nah, as soon as he
I don't
took
know.
Spade down, it came up. The
I titled
settings
the
came up.
video broadcasting live from the Huntsville COMICON. I thought we were gonna get to I don't know. Yeah, we were supposed to walk around the Comic-Con and see the whole thing. I don't know. I guess he forgot. But here we are anyway. Let's make a show out of it.
We can make a shot. That's easy.
We can do something.
That's easy. Because I want to talk about Batman. I finally got to watch it. Phenomenal movie. I don't know why everybody was trashing it so bad. I don't know why. It should have been called. A lot of people, man. I've been online. People, Batman was trash. It was this. And everybody had. Listen,
I haven't heard that.
The movie should have been called Batman Year 2.
Yeah.
Because that's when it takes place. But it was great.
It was good. It was really good.
I mean, listen. They had the Iceberg Lounge, Falcone, all that. Like, listen, it was just. I mean, they put a little twist on it, and I get that.
Sure.
But you got to remember, too, if it's year 2 for Batman, it was year 1 for Riddler. You know what I mean? Probably about year 5 for Penguin. Penguin wasn't a supervillain yet.
Yeah.
And they were a lot of people forget that.
Yeah, he was just a side thug at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't he wasn't as mainstream as he was. Yeah, he wasn't as mainstream.
Now that Falcone's gone, he's taking.
That's when he rose to power. Yeah, he took his place because you still got Black Mask comes out of all of that.
Right.
You still got Black Mask came out of all because Black Mask rose to power too around that time when Falcone died. And Penguin really.
I want Black
Penguin
Mask.
really took over. Yeah, I would love Black Mask.
That's who they need to get.
Yeah, that would be great, especially with what we got for Birds of Prey. They could do a nice little redo, and that'd be great.
Sada, that would be the best thing since pockets on pants. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because nobody ever when it comes to thugs, they always put in Falcone and Maroni and all those other crime families. But they never talk about Black Mask. They never talk about him and
He's
his
only
crew.
been in the animated movies. He's never been in a live action. We never heard about Black Mask in any live action.
Never. I mean,
and you would think that's a character that's made for live action. He's not super, weird. He's just a guy in a suit with a black mask. I mean, anybody could be that.
That's made from his father's coffin.
Ooh.
Is that what that is?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's a wooden mask, It's a wooden mask. It was carved from a coffin, Black Mask is a very interesting character.
Yes.
He like I said, he rose to power, based on the other
crime bosses getting
the other crime bosses getting knocked off by Batman. Once they got knocked off, he and then when he took over, Roman Sionis, when he took over, he was really he was really ruthless, man. He held like a lot of territories in Gotham. Yeah. But he's also a good strategist too. So like when it comes to Batman has a hard time, because he prepares and he doesn't come back, he kind of plays the shadows. He'll send his thugs in there to do his dirty work, but it's usually a trap. And Batman usually has to deal with that. So it's like, you got to kind of be on your toes to catch Roman Sionis. So.
Yeah. And he's been in the Batman, the animated series. He's been in Under the Red Hood. He was in the Arkham video game series, which is where I kind of learned a lot about him. But he did make a live action debut in 2020 on the Birds of Prey, like you said, Sada. He did make it in Birds of Prey, portrayed by Ewan McGregor, which that's a great casting, and I wouldn't mind to see him reprise the role in the Reeves, maybe a Reeves sequel or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he is a very interesting character. And like you said, Reno, he's perfect for live action.
He's perfect.
Yeah, he's perfect.
Norman Rat said he trashes Batman.
I trashed it. At least he's honest.
yeah, he likes Catwoman. Batman had one contact lens, one gadget. The Batmobile was trash. It was just a car.
Come on,
forget that it's like year 2.
Wow.
Okay, I guess
Riddler was stupid.
Riddler was stupid. Wow, come on, Norman, man.
Just
all right, and you know what? We respect that, man. We respect your opinion. Me, on the other hand, I loved it.
Did you know Ewan McGregor was gay with Jim Carrey in a movie?
That's an interesting fact.
I don't think I saw that one.
I didn't
see that one. But no, I mean, I thought the movie was the best Batman movie since '89. Hands down, no question. Which isn't hard, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, it's not hard to beat the Nolans or the what was his name? The guy that made the really bad ones with Schumacher, thank you.
No, Schumacher, yeah, Schumacher.
Yeah. But Black Mask, Roman Sionis, he's perfect. I mean, he was born to a wealthy and utterly self-absorbed parents who cared more about their social status in Gotham City than their own son. And moments after his birth, the doctor carelessly dropped him on his head, and his parents covered up the entire incident so that their high society friends wouldn't find out. Years later, he was attacked by a rabid raccoon at the Sionis family country estate, and his parents forbade him to mention the incident to anyone because you know how those socialites get. And despite their dislike for fellow socialites Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne, Roman's parents continued to associate with them and maintain their social standing, and forced Roman to befriend their son Bruce. So they were actually friends as kids. His parents' hypocrisy had a deep impact. Yeah. And he grew to resent them and the masks that they wore in public. After graduating from high school, he was given a high-ranking position in his father's company, Janus Cosmetics. There he met and fell in love with working-class model Cersei. Though his parents did not approve of the relationship and forced him to break it off, enraged, Roman burned down his family mansion, killing both of his own parents, and inherited their fortune and business. Roman lacked his father's business acumen and eventually ruined Janus Cosmetics by funding a failed line of face paint makeup. Desperate, Roman had the staff chemists create a product that was rushed into the market without proper testing, disfiguring several hundred women. Cersei, now Roman's fiance, then broke up with him in front of his entire staff. Bruce Wayne, now the head of Wayne Enterprises, offered to bail Janus Cosmetics out on the condition that Roman gave up control and allowed Wayne to appoint his own board of directors. Humiliated and furious, Roman broke into the cemetery where his parents were buried. Before he could unlock the Sionis crypt, a lightning bolt struck him, blasting the door open and hurling Roman headfirst into a nearby stone. This guy's just getting his head beaten left and right. Roman took the incident as an omen of his rebirth and entered the crypt, smashing his father's ebony casket with the stone and using the shattered pieces to carve that ebony mask resembling a scowling face, starting a new life as the crime lord Black Mask. And that face, I always thought it was more of like what do you call it? Like a skeleton, like a skull. They said it was a scowling face. That's definitely a skull. There he is right there. Kind of like
that's a mask. Yeah, he's under the mask.
Yeah.
I know it looks like a Red Skull, but it's
Red Skull. Right, like Marvel's Red Skull, but it's Black Mask. And but yeah, I love Gotham's gangster. That's what I love about Batman. You've got, like Two-Face and all these gangster type cats, the ventriloquist.
The ventriloquist.
Obviously Black Man. Yeah, they're all that sort of like 1920s mafia, Lucky Luciano type pinstripe suit, classic fedora, gangster, and I just love it. I mean, even little ventriloquist had a little Tommy gun. Like, remember that?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
It was actually scary to me. I don't know what it
was. What's Norin says they were prison inmates. Oh, in the Thig Carey and McGregor gay movie, full scene changed how I think of them. Creeps. It's called I Love You, Philip Morris. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, you're right. That did happen. That's right. Jim Carrey did play a gay dude. They should have done Victor Zsasz for the movie. It makes more sense. Slade, what up? Yeah, Victor Zsasz. Victor Zsasz, Black
I can see him down the line.
Yeah, and I can see like characters like that in the movie. I mean, they're made for live action. They're just basically humans, which makes it easy, and it kind of fits that the Matt Reeves sort of world where everyone's just sort of a human that is a little bit different, versus Clayface or Killer Croc or stuff like that. That they couldn't, just that wouldn't seem right, wouldn't quite fit in a real world.
I mean, I feel like Killer Croc could work in that universe. I think
Croc could work.
Yeah,
Croc could work. Any one of his villains would work. I mean, it's just a story. You just got to put a good story behind them. And if Hollywood can't think of one, just go to DC. Just go to DC Studio. Just ask them to write you a story, and
or go to the comics.
Right, go to the comic creators. Ask them to write you a story and keep it popping, man. I mean, Marvel did it with the first Ant-Man movie. Yeah, Marvel did it with the first Ant-Man movie, and those writers were like very proud of the fact that they wrote that story. I mean, all you got to do is turn it into a script. That's it.
That's it. And you're making a comic book movie, guys. Maybe fucking go to the comic books for a source of information. Well, it's an idea.
I mean, because in Batman, I felt like, I mean, I got it. Like, I literally got the whole movie. Like, it's year 2. He's working with the police. And you see him with the Batmobile in pieces, and he's putting it together bit by bit. Because you can see he's experimenting on making it faster and strong. Like, you can see, and they gave him some gadgets. Not a lot, but he had some stuff.
Again,
I really got
year
it.
2.
It's just It's just year 2, right? Everything is not as refined as it was, come year 5, 6.
Yeah.
But year 2, and I'm glad they did it that way because now we don't have to deal with year 1 and the origin story and all that.
Oh,
yeah. They set that tone from the door when he was like, "Look, I've been doing this 2 years now." And
no parents getting shot scene. Woo!
Yeah, no pearls bouncing across the road. We don't need
all of that, right? And he actually had 2. Yeah, remember when he got shot with the shotgun? The guy hit him with the hunting shotgun,
right?
And now was that venom that he used to amp himself back up and get up?
Sometimes.
I mean, it was the same color as Venom. It was green.
It was.
He pulled it out.
If that was if that was a foreshadowing for Bane, then I'll be a real happy comic fan because I would love to see Bane done right. Because the thing with like Sada, I think you said last time, the Tom Hardy Bane was the perfect Bane characterization, the way his character was, being intelligent, being a leader, being versus not being just some like mindless muscle thug like they'll do a lot of times in the cartoons and stuff. But they again, it's foreshadowing. It's an Easter egg. It might be a foreshadowing so that we know, like, okay, when Venom comes, it's like not it just didn't come out of nowhere. Oh yeah, Batman used that, and here's where it came from.
Yeah, something right. Yeah,
I mean, as like a plot convenience within the actual context of the movie, but I didn't mind it personally. I was like, whatever. So it didn't bother me.
Because you gotta think when he took it, he perked right up. Like he jumped up and was
all the energy.
And that's what Venom does. But Bane takes a really high dosage of it, and a newer batch. Like the batch he has is like a newer batch of it.
Yeah.
So But if they do a Black Mask, I wonder, if they would give us if they'd give us New 52 Black Mask or DC Rebirth Black Mask,
Yeah,
or
because New 52
Jeremiah
Black
Arkham.
Mask, yeah, New 52 Black Mask, he actually has mind control powers with the mask, and he can change his appearance to look like certain people. Yeah, he just he can look like Superman, but he can't. He just doesn't have his powers. It's just like little stuff like that for the New 52. I thought that they didn't need to do like it just.
Yeah, that sounds like they mixed Clayface and Vertigo.
Yeah.
Well, DC Rebirth, he actually, was allied with the Penguin.
Yeah.
And the Great White Shark, in alliance, known as Blacks and Whites. Together they hire the KG Beast to kill Batman. And in the Watchmen sequel, Doomsday Clock, Black Mask is among the villains that attend the underground meeting held by the Riddler to talk about Superman theory. So he's tied in with Riddler and Penguin, which are obviously two of the big characters in the Reeves verse.
Because in Batman versus Superman, the guy that had the flamethrower, he was supposed to be KG Beast.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he was gonna be KG Beast.
I thought he was that guy Fire.
Nah, he wasn't Firefly. Nah, nope. He was Russian. Remember, he was Russian. He was supposed to be KG Beast.
Yeah.
Remember after Batman, wounded him and all that. That's when he became KG Beast.
Very true. Very true. Or Black Mask hired Bane.
No, then we go right back to where we are. Square
one. That would
one.
be the same.
Somebody's lacking, so
yeah. We don't want to see Bane as like a thug or hired by or anything. Bane should be the mastermind of whatever movie he's in. He should be the big bad, the main guy, because he's not a big blumbering idiot. He's a fucking genius. He's a criminal mastermind. He's super. He's got a super will, and he's got the venom, and it makes him super strong, and he's mad brutal, but he's also very intelligent.
Yeah. And just as good a detective as Batman.
That's what I mean. Super great detective. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see a Clayface and a man
Clayface
bat.
would be right. Clayface.
I really want to see him.
yeah. But
I don't know about
it doesn't. Well, see, I don't think Man Bat or Clayface fits in the Reeves movies. Well, because they're more supernatural-ish kind of creature type. Even with Killer Croc, like everything in these movies so far have just been a guy, like a regular human. Like Penguin's just a regular human being. He's not like the Danny DeVito thing. He's just a regular guy. Riddler, regular guy. Joker, regular guy. It just seems more like this movie is more, and I don't want to say realistic because I'm not like a big. Like, I don't think going super realistic is the way to go. And I would love to see a movie with Clayface and Man Bat and Killer Croc and all these guys, and Ventriloquist and all of that. I just don't think they fit in this universe. I could be wrong. Maybe you guys are right. I just felt like this universe is more on the realistic gangster type characters, like your Black Masks and your, Two-Face and stuff like that. But. And yeah, he's the only one that beat Batman, Bane. But and then Bane is one that I wouldn't want to see him in this movie if they do it like Tom Hardy. Yeah. Like, I don't want to see just a regular guy.
They completely removed the venom, like from Tom Hardy.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did.
Which was what?
No luchador mask.
Yeah.
There was no. It wasn't. I don't know. It was like they took the luchador mask with all the tubes and everything, and they just shrunk it all into this one little face piece with little tubes on it.
I always asked it. I asked the question, Reno, what is the problem? I don't know what the problem is, but what is the problem with making Bane Spanish? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I don't like what.
Like, he's clearly Spanish in the comic. Yeah. They don't hide it.
He's from South America somewhere,
right?
And Young Justice is like the only thing that really like embraces him being Spanish, at least from what I see.
I don't get it, bro. Yeah, I don't get why they just overlook that. I don't get why they always overlook that or just don't mention it. Like, it's just not a thing. I don't.
Yeah, because he would definitely be a great, representation for Latino characters, especially villains. Lito's Way, what's good? Salute y'all. My question: are we gonna get to see Batman up his training? Because at this point, only Alfred has taught him combat. Will we get Richard Dragon? Will we get League of Assassins?
These are a lot of questions.
Ra's al Ghul. Yeah,
that's true. Don't forget Zatanna's dad. He trained with Zatanna's father. Man, but that's why it's year 2.
Yeah, we got some time.
Right, it's year 2 because remember he went off. The original story is Batman went off and trained, and then he came back and he acquired his skills, and then he came back and was Batman.
Right.
But you can mix it up a little bit.
Robin right now.
Yeah, I agree, Norrin.
Right
we
now.
do need Robin.
Yeah.
I want to see Court of Owls though. I want to see Court of Owls. That's like one of the coolest things to me about Batman. Court of Owls.
Court of Owls would be.
Oof.
That would be.
Man.
Court of Owls would be. That'd be the best thing
since.
Yeah, that'd be
like
the best
Dark
thing
Illuminati. Pockets on pants.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, Court of Owls would fit so nicely in that Reeves universe, especially with all like the Illuminati and all the scandals and stuff. It would just fit right in.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it would parallel Marvel doing the Illuminati stuff right now. You'd have a little competition, but I think Talos.
Talos, yeah.
From Court of Owls, he's like their assassin.
It would be a good villain for Batman. You could do a rooftop chase scene. There's a lot you could do.
Yeah, a lot of martial arts. Parkour.
Good.
Yeah.
And you can even throw.
Azrael's a great one. John Paul Valley.
Yeah, that'd be really great. Yeah. But I don't think we would never listen. Nora Rad, I wish, but it'll never happen because Hollywood's not that smart. It's just not gonna happen.
What, the Azazel? That was Lito's Way.
Oh, Lito's Way, yeah. Azrael, yeah. It would never happen.
Azrael,
It would literally be, and if they did it right, it'd be one of the best Batman movies ever. But
wait, is there an Azazel too?
Yeah, I think isn't he Marvel or?
There's an Azazel somewhere. He's a Marvel. Oh, that's Marvel.
I think it might be Marvel.
Azazel. You mean Azaziz or something like that? Azaziz.
No, Azazel. He's named after the demon Azazel. You might have seen him. No, I don't know if it's DC or Marvel. Let me look it up. Azazel, fictional supervillain. Oh, okay. He's the red mutant guy that looks kind of like Nightcrawler, but he's red.
Okay.
Yeah. That.
And he's Marvel. Yeah, he's Marvel.
That's
comics,
Marvel. Yeah, because they had him in Evolution. Not Evolution. I'm sorry. First Class. Sorry.
First Class.
Yeah, he was in First Class.
See, Nightcrawler's dad.
Is he really Nightcrawler's dad?
Yeah.
It looks like his family is crazy. Family tree is wow.
Guys, I am parched right now. Super cotton mouth. Gotta go get a Gatorade. You guys hold it down. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Got it. So Batman, I loved it. I don't, a lot of people rag on it, but I thought it was great. Side, I was blown away by it. This is the first Batman movie I was blown away by in a long time.
Yeah.
I liked everything about. I loved the pace of the movie. I couldn't even 3 hours. People say, "Oh, 3." You can't even tell.
I don't even know how that's a complaint when you sat through Endgame, probably. And I mean, did you have an issue with Snyder Cut? Did you have an issue with the previous DC or Marvel film, which is close to 3 hours? Like, how is that even a complaint?
No, it's not.
It might be the pacing because it's slow and there's not a lot of action. That might be why it's a now.
If you put your phone down and you just pay attention to the movie, you don't notice it's going by. The time will definitely fly. But they say a watch pot never boils, and that's true.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah. So I liked it. Then, it was just a lot about the movie I liked. You know what I mean? That just really, and how I loved. At one point, I thought they were going to say Falcone killed his dad and his mom, but nobody was sure because Falcone was blaming Maroni and Alfred was blaming Falcone, but I like the way they left that open. I like the way they left it open.
I think someone broke it down. I think someone told what it was. Right. It was either Maroni or Falcone.
Falcone broke it down. And
Penguin
Catwoman's dad. Now Catwoman's dad broke it down. But then remember when he talked to Alfred, Alfred was like, look, like Alfred re-broke it down and then was like, but I'm not sure. I can't say for sure that he was the killer, but it looks that way. And so he was still left with the mystery of his parents' death. Comics, I think, best as shows for cramming most content.
I think I get what he's saying.
Better than Marvel stuff.
I think I get what he's saying. Yeah, I think I get what he's saying. Mm-hmm.
Better short Batman stories. I mean, Batman stories are very complex.
Yeah,
even the comics are complex. Like you can't when you read a Batman comic, it's a lot of dialogue. They break it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they break it down. There is no, bam, boof, piff, pow, 3 pages in, and then you get some talking, and then, no.
Yeah,
they break it down.
Yeah, that's all from the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Once the comics code was busted back down in the 70s, and they were able to start doing more adult, I guess, violent stuff and stuff like that, and then you had Frank Miller came in with the Dark Knight, and things got back to their good old darkness.
This is true.
But Court of Owls would need a trilogy, maybe. Definitely a sequel. I don't like great. When I think and something like that, maybe even a TV series.
Yeah, that would be nice as a TV series. I think Court of Owls, but they could do it as a movie too. But I think it definitely.
But they would drag it on. If we got a TV, you know what I mean.
You make a good point. Wait,
they would drag it on. I mean, I'm totally with y'all on the whole thing, but I just think that they would drag it on so bad that we would start to hate it. I really do.
Especially I'm thinking like CW. So, God, never mind.
Oh yeah, no, I don't.
Scratch it out.
Not CW. No, it would have to be.
Yeah, but even if it weren't on the CW, I could feel it like being dragged out, like if it were a CW show. So I don't.
Yeah, a lot of filler episodes and all that shit. But it would be good as maybe a sequel or a trilogy. But well, Batman is officially on HBO Max. So if you haven't seen it in theater, check it out. But we got apparently Matt Reeves reveals a major detail about Catwoman's backstory. He said Selina's a survivor. She had to survive on the streets, and she actually lived for part of her childhood in the Gotham orphanage, just like the Riddler. And so the story is very much about class as well, and about the luxury of being able to choose to become a vigilante versus somebody who simply has to find a way to survive the way Selina does. Pattinson's Batman is very interesting. He uses body language and eyes in the movie, and it shows. The actor's known for social awkwardness within the press, and it actually helps him in the Batman. Director Matt Reeves recently sat down with KCRW and revealed exactly how Pattinson's physical awkwardness helped him play the Cape Crusader. And I think he's right, because Pattinson is like a shy, socially awkward kind of dude, and I think it kind of fits a loner like Batman, like it helped him sort of play that role and be believable that this guy could be, a sort of lone hermit type guy.
The movie we're never gonna see.
Yeah, it's not happening.
They had to fire Ezra, man. They had Ezra. Yeah, they had to fire Ezra. He went crazy, man. He just, the fame got to him. It wasn't him. It was the fame.
I don't even know. I just hope he gets the help he needs. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, he's done.
Yeah, Lito says, he's done. Yeah, Lito says, what is the Penguin show gonna focus on? Probably Lito, the Iceberg Lounge, and everything that goes on with it.
Yeah.
and these newer comics and DC writings, they focus a lot on the Iceberg Lounge. Back in the day, they didn't, but now they do.
Mr. Freeze is gonna come in.
I would love to see Freeze in there, bro.
Yes,
I really would. But the Iceberg Lounge is that's Penguin's spot. That's where he hangs out. Right. And he's new. He does everything from there. You rarely see him out.
Did they name that? Did they mention the name Iceberg Lounge in the Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was on the building.
That's where Penguin was on the building. Yeah. Remember when he first went in there and the guy he knocked on the door and the guy was like, you know who I am?
Yeah.
And then he beat the guy up. That's the Iceberg Lounge.
Right.
They were in there doing drip. Yeah, they were in there doing drip. They were showing all the drip heads and all that.
No, I remember the lounge. I just remember if they said Iceberg Lounge or not.
Yeah. No, it was written on the on a couple places. And Penguin said it. Falcone said it. I think Gordon said it a couple times.
That would be interesting.
Freeze and Penguin, Mr. Freeze team up.
I kind of want to see Mr. Freeze on his own first, and then I'm here for the team. Totally.
Yeah, I mean Penguin being the sort of kingpin, and maybe Mr. Freeze is a hired assassin or whoever or
I can see him as being a hired man.
Yeah. And then you do have the Riddler Joker team up that's going down. We saw that at the end. It may not be a team up. It may just be.
Or Penguin could hire Freeze to take out Batman.
Or Joker gets out and then Riddler helps him from behind bars or whatever. Kind of a Hannibal Lecter type situation again. But yeah, Court of Owls. Yeah, we said Court of Owls. Batman hands full. I know, right? We got him dealing with everybody. But no,
Court of Owls would be dope.
Court of Owls. That's my vote. And a Robin would be good.
Yes, we need Robin immediately. I don't know what their issue.
Well, remember last week we talked about. You brought it up, how Batman needs a Robin. Yeah. In order for it to be successful, but I've read a couple articles lately where they were saying that we need to move on in the DC universe. We need to move on from the big three: Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and they should do like a Robin movie, a Flash movie, Green Lantern, Green Arrow.
Love to see a Jason Todd movie because he does so much. Like he has a really interesting story now. He was hated at first, but now he's like one of the most beloved, if not the most. He's got the most. I mean, he's Red Hood. All these. Yeah, he's been every mantle at some point. He even played Batman at one point. He was even Nightwing at one point. He was Red Robin at one point. Like he's been all of them at some point. And so he's definitely has like a very interesting movie interesting story that would make a great movie.
Yeah,
Lobo though.
Lobo.
Lobo movie would be great.
Yeah,
we all would love a Lobo movie.
Because the Lobo, there you go. That's really far away from the big three. I mean, Robin's a little close. Being Batman's sidekick, but Lobo, he's completely outside of the Justice League. He's, a more of a side character and interesting as fuck and really cool. And, a lot going on with him. He's got the alien thing going. He's got the bounty hunter thing going. He's got the healing factor type Wolverine, kind of guy thing going. It's a lot. It could be great.
I mean, I just find it funny they're saying like move away from the big three when it's like, and as far as the DCEU, they've barely been explored. Affleck's wasn't really explored. I mean, we're getting, the one for Reeves, so maybe that'll be explored more. Wonder Woman, the second one was horrible, so she really hasn't been explored yet. I don't count the second one. And then Superman was just dropped. After Man of Steel, so like, what's going on?
But I mean, they've done. I mean, they're doing all these. It's for me, it's Justice League. I don't know, big three. It's just Justice League. All the Justice, and it's not that they should move away from it. It's just that let's get some other stuff too.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Totally.
Yeah, people like with the article I read. The one guy said like, look, we've done Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman enough times to where it's just time for some new, fresh meat. Like
I'm definitely having that Batman fatigue.
Like give us a new three characters.
Yeah.
Like give us 3 new characters. Give us 3 3 characters that we can, we can grasp. 3 new characters that we can get behind.
If
Not
you
just
ask
Batman and Wonder Woman
and Soups, right? Well, I mean, if you ask the average person, even the average comic fan that's not like a DC head, to name DC characters besides those that are in the Justice League, most people can't do it. Yeah, they don't know.
No, they can't.
They start with
no,
the Flash,
they don't know.
and then that's
Right.
it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Everybody knows Flash. A lot of them will get Green Lantern. Some of them will get Green Lantern.
Some will get Green. A few might get Martian Manhunter, but beyond that, like outside of Justice League, you're not gonna find. And it's DC's fault. I mean, because you can't. You can't just make the movies about the ones everyone knows. I mean, people aren't gonna know about, because unless you're a DC comic book reader, you don't know about anyone else because they haven't given us anyone else. Dr. Fate is another one that would be super cool, especially with the we got Doctor Strange out of Marvel, so they're doing all kinds of
Constantine. They did a Constantine.
They did way back when with Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
Keanu Reeves, nobody knew that was a DC character.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Nobody had any idea.
Nah, they didn't. Nah, nobody did. They were like, Constantine. And Constantine is a very interesting character. Very interesting. You do him right. I mean, listen, I don't understand why they just don't get the CW people to play in these movies. Like, just
like Lito's Way.
The casting is great. It's just, the writing's not there to back them up. So let's get them to the movies. Hopefully the writing can back them up there. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. And it's like Lito's Way said, it seems like the shows might be exploring. And that's it. The shows are always going to, I mean, we get a lot of obscure characters will pop in and out of the shows. That's for sure. But the movies need to.
And even the animated movies need to take a risk, because the lineup every year is a Superman movie, a couple Batman movies, maybe not a Wonder Woman movie, but definitely
Justice League. You'll get Justice League, Flash, Green Lantern.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. That is true. Yeah, that is true. We do get that. I mean,
and you're right. It's like every year. No, like they could change it up sometimes. Like
just a little bit. I get it, but just a little bit.
I've personally literally gone to looking at the DC animated movies when I wanted to learn more about DC, and everything is Justice League or characters from the Justice League. Like I couldn't find nothing else. So I think people.
Well, they got Vixen. They got the Vixen cartoon.
Yeah, but see, they hide those, and they also hide the other ones in like little shorts, and then they just stick them in the DVD. So it's like, well, just give me a full length film,
Yeah, they're called OVAs.
Yeah, like it would be dope if they did a Martian Manhunter cartoon.
That would be so dope. I feel like
that would be great. Like,
because he's another character that is awesome. He's got a lot. Going
people
on.
Love him. Yeah, people love him.
And they always nerf him in the shows. So
because he's mega powerful, dude. He's super powerful, bro. He's like Superman status.
Yeah.
But they never.
Nope. It's always he gets knocked out by electricity and he's done out of the fight, or fire. He's out of the fight.
Well, fire is his weakness. That's his.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, fire is his weakness. But you're right. They do always knock him out real easy. So I'd be like, oh, come on, Martian Manhunter, get up.
Yeah. And I think they will have to change that weakness for the movie, because fire, that's too easy. That's a lame weakness. I feel bad for him. Anybody can beat you. Any kid with a lighter can beat you. No. But he's mega powerful. He's mad powerful.
He is mega powerful.
He can do whatever.
Powerful.
Yeah, he's got telekinesis. He's empathic. He's telepathic.
He's got the super strength.
Super strength. Yeah, he's got
super
strength. Yeah.
He can probably teleport.
Turn invisible. He can turn invisible and all that.
Yeah.
He can phase. Yeah, he can phase through things. Yeah. But speaking a little bit off topic, DC. Coming in July, Marvel's going to add a new Predator series to their lineup. So it'll be Predator #1, and the variant cover has Predator looks like he's invaded the Fantastic Four tower or the Avengers tower, and he's holding a severed head of Iron Man. And it's a dope cover. Covers cover's dope. The variant cover by David Finch has holding the Iron Man, but the suit with the head. We don't know if Tony Stark's head is in there, but that's what it looks like. But that number one, that variant cover it's a dope cover. And that'll be out in July.
You should have told me before the show. I could have got the picture so we could show people.
This is true.
Yeah, I mean, because you're kind of
gotta get it together.
You know what? Punch it up. Reno should come right up. Predator 1 variant by David Finch.
Let's see.
Turn on my light. Oh, turn on my light.
Talk about something while I do it.
All right. So back to the Batman. I really like the way when they were interrogating Penguin, and because it shows that Batman just wasn't. The one thing I like about it is that it shows how Batman wasn't refined. He wasn't the great detective that he was.
Yeah.
He was good at spotting clues and figuring something, but he wasn't the stone cold great detective that he was years later. And it shows you that in the beginning, like he was really good, like for him to be as young as he was. And that stood out to me. Like that really stood out to me. Like I'm like, all right, he's good, but he's not great yet. You know what I mean? Like, and he was better than all detectives in the room. He was the best detective in the room, and he was the best cop in the room, even though he wasn't a cop, he was a vigilante. Right. And they show him looking at the clues and looking at everything. And even when he went back to Riddler's hideout, and Riddler was like, look, I gave you everything. Because when he gave him the carpet tool, he just thought it was the murder weapon. He was like, oh, it's the murder weapon. And that showed you how when he was young, he overlooked certain things that he wouldn't have overlooked later on. Yeah. And he was like, wait a minute, it's got to be more to this. But at the same time, he doesn't know Riddler
use it to rip
as well as
carpet.
he did.
Yeah. Right. He didn't know Riddler. Like, yo, that's a carpet tool. He's like, oh, okay.
Right. And then he said, we standing on the carpet. Right. Wait a minute. We stand on the carpet. So then they rip the carpet up. And boom. Riddler's whole plan is right there. So I loved it, man. I thought it was ingenious.
Yeah, it was really like a comic book cross with like the movie Seven. That's what I got. A lot of the movie Seven vibe. If you guys saw Seven.
Seven Atmosphere. Yeah, it had the Seven Atmosphere. You're right now.
I mean, when they went into Riddler's room, his hideout, his crib, it's just like the Kevin Spacey, the killer on Seven, when they found his apartment. Same fucking thing. Notebooks, scribblings, all of that shit. It was pulled right out of it, and brilliantly. Not, it wasn't a hokey, copy. But here is the Predator cover you're talking about, holding standing on top of the Avengers building, holding Iron Man's helmet.
Oh boy,
pretty dope.
That is dope.
Since you cheated and talked about some Marvel stuff, I'm gonna cheat too because I'm so excited. I'm so excited because I've said this before. We need a new Wolverine. We need a thick Wolverine, and I said, the guy, Tom Hardy, who played Bane, would be that would be a badass Wolverine. And I'm not saying that this picture looks great. It's fan made. It's not a great picture, but I'm happy to know that they're talking about it. We finally get to see, we finally get to see the mask.
But come on, Reno, that's what we've been asking for. Like everybody's been asking.
I just want that suit. But it looks good.
It does. It looks decent. And if the rumors are true, we could see, Wolverine in the next in the X-Men movie. And he could show up in 2 different properties. Some rumors suggest that the character would be on Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Of course, we must take those rumors with a pinch of salt, but they are exciting. And the Disney Fox merger and the subsequent confirmation of that long-awaited MCU Fantastic Four movie confirms that Marvel is ready to move forward in the next phase of their shared universe with some long-awaited additions, and we're not just talking about Phase 4. As for who will play the Wolverine, that's the big question that Marvel Studios has been super tight-lipped. They've not answered. They've not hinted. They're not even talking about it. And it's obviously, I think, going to be impossible to find anyone that's going to live up to the Hugh Jackman Wolverine, that style of Wolverine. But if they go with the comic book style of Wolverine, which is not Hugh Jackman, he's not 6'2", he's not a pretty boy, he wears the mask, you know what I mean? Like that's, and one actor I think that's more capable of giving that comic Wolverine is Tom Hardy. I mean, he's played some dope characters, and he's a very good character actor. He really can go out of his own zone. We've seen him do Bane. We've seen him do Al Capone in his late years. If you guys saw that movie that came out like a couple of years ago, killer actor. But yes, digital artist JPH Photoshop took to Instagram to share an outstanding piece of artwork featuring Tom Hardy in the role of Wolverine. This is the image. It features the actor wearing the comic accurate yellow and black outfit that also showcases the character's mask, which we've not been able to ever get, and Fox never even tried. And it goes without saying that a look like this one made comic fans very happy if they saw it in the MCU. I think that's what we're waiting for, Marvel. Is Tom Hardy going to play Wolverine in the MCU? There's no confirmation as to who's playing Wolverine. Tom Hardy has been at the top of many fan castings, though, over the years, and which I personally, like I said, you guys have heard me say Tom Hardy before. I never knew that fans were talking about Tom Hardy. I didn't know that was a big deal that people were talking about it. I had no idea. Let me check these.
But
they
you
need
gotta
Weapon X.
Weapon X. That'd be
evolve into Wolverine. I mean, we do need a Weapon X. We would love to have Weapon X.
We do. We need a
Fox
Weapon X.
Did it? They tried to.
But Fox, you know what? Fox's biggest mistake with the X-Men series was not putting Wolverine in his costume. That was one of the biggest mistakes.
Absolutely.
Because in the comics, keeping it real, Logan wears the costume. Like that's part of his persona. When he goes out to do whatever he does, because he's the best at what he does, he dons that costume. Like he doesn't go out in a leather jacket with with motorcycle boots. Right? He throws on the Weapon X Wolverine costume. He goes out and he gets the job done.
I mean, in Marvel, it's been when you see him wearing, like you said, the tank top and jeans or the boots or the cowboy hat or whatever. In the comics, that's when he's not doing superhero action. That's when he's like hanging out.
He's hanging out,
behind the scenes, right? Just chilling. But yeah, Alpha Flight would be, that's a lot of people asking for Alpha Flight. But I'd love just a straight up Marvel Wolverine. Sada, are you not able to come back?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. You're good. Yeah, no, it's it's I don't know. I know it's DC, but yeah, Wolverine needs his costume. He just does. But it would be great to have a straight up Wolverine movie, like a Marvel and MCU Wolverine movie, from Weapon X through like Days of Future Past, like that whole saga, Force, X Force, like go through Alpha Flight, go through his X Force days, where I would love to see an X Force movie, like the black suits. You have Daredevil or Deadpool in the black and gray. You have Wolverine in the black and gray. X-23 is there in the black and gray. You had the werewolf, Rain Sinclair, I think is in there. You have and obviously my man Cable. So if you gave me some Cable and Wolverine action, I could die happy, straight up and down.
But you know what, Reno, and I keep saying that Hollywood's not that smart. They missed out on a golden opportunity to capitalize and make Marvel even bigger than what it was. Had you put Wolverine in the costume and did those other Wolverine movies, they were okay, but they would have been better had he been in the costume. But they didn't do it. People wanted to see that. They wanted to see it from day one, and Hollywood never gave it to us. Me personally, I think sometimes the directors have a vendetta against the costumes, or because they want to put their own stamp on it and make it famous, but it's already famous. You can't make it. If you want to make it more famous, you give it to us the way we want it. Not like Iron Fist is a perfect example. The number one reason why people hated Iron Fist was because Danny Rand never donned the costume. He never wore the suit at all.
We were expecting at least season 2.
Yeah, nothing. And the director went on record as to say he'll never wear it as long as I'm in the director's chair, and he's not gonna get it. Yeah, like you hating on Danny Rand. Like what's the whole purpose of that?
What's the science behind that? What's your reasoning for that? That's what I want to know. I'm looking forward to the X-Men 93. The continuation of the X-Men animated series. Yeah. When is this coming out? Like I keep hearing about it. I'm dying for that.
Yeah, because we were kind of left hanging with X-Men when they came out with that cartoon. It was good, and everybody liked it. I mean, it wasn't the greatest animation, but we liked it.
Accurate.
It was comic
the animation
accurate.
was like three frames per second. I mean, it was like 3 frames per second. The animation wasn't the best, but the drawings of the characters were great. The storylines were almost verbatim out of the comics. They changed a few things, of course, but it was the best Marvel animated anything.
Yeah, it had 5 seasons. I mean, it wasn't that bad. It had, if it had 5 seasons,
for the time, it was great.
It was great, yeah. And I kind of slept on it at first, but a friend of mine that I grew up with, he was like, "Yo, you haven't been watching X-Men?" I was like, "No." I was like, because the animation was throwing me off. And that time I was watching like Maycross Saga, stuff like, and I was like really, after seeing that, you're like, wow. I'm watching Get a Robo. I'm like, wow, look at, and then you get to X-Men, you're like, all right, this is kind of basic. But once I watched it, a year away, yeah.
My God. But yeah, I mean, it's early 90s. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I just wasn't into cartoons at the time. I wasn't watching animated shit. I wasn't into comic books at the time. I was into Wu-Tang and gang banging and being in the street and all that shit, that kept me away from all the creative, artistic stuff that was what I was always, meant to be into. And so I didn't get to, I wasn't watching it like when it was as it aired. I came back and watched it later, maybe in like, I don't think I even saw it until like 98, 99.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't see it anything when it was out.
I didn't watch, you know what it was for me? I didn't watch the first season, and then a friend of mine, I was, we just, one of my boys, he just kept saying, "Yo, you gotta watch, and then I finally watched one episode. Then I kept up with it, and then I, when they showed the earlier episodes, that's when I got to see season 1.
Yeah.
But when I got older, I actually bought them on VHS. And I watched them, and I was like, man, these are great. And then because there was a few I missed in between. I think they came on Sundays or something like that. I know it didn't come on during the week. They came on Saturdays, Sundays, and it was great, bro. Yeah. I think I got all the way up to the Phoenix Saga, and then I fell off. And then I think they did like Mojo. They did Mojo Jojo.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did Scott Summers' dad. He was from outer space, like Star-Lord's dad.
Yeah. Corsair. And my favorite shit was my favorite shit was the Apocalypse joint and the Cable joint. When they did Apocalypse, Four Horsemen, what's her name? Mystique. Apocalypse was fucking phenomenal in that show. That's the Apocalypse we need. Like that, if they would have done that in live action, people would have loved it. I mean, he grew big. He had that deep voice. He was huge. He was imposing. He was evil. It was just the greatest. He was one of the best like animated villains of all time, in my opinion. But back to DC. I know it was a DC Power Hour. I'm sorry. We are way up in some Marvel shit. But yeah. Back to DC. Upon after years upon years of being in the works, DC's Black Adam movie is finally on the way to becoming a reality. With the film poised to debut in theaters later this year. Not only will the project introduce general audiences to Black Adam, but it will serve as the live-action film debut for the Justice Society of America, which is one of the very first superhero teams to grace the pages of DC Comics. And with a lot still unknown about Black Adam outside of a few, brief seconds of footage, a new announcement for the film's official tie-in comic book answers one of the biggest questions thus far, which is the comic is titled Black Adam, the Justice Society Secret Files. It will consist of a series of one-shots spotlighting the members of the film's ensemble. The first issue is going to be the main story about Carter Hall, Hawkman, from writer Kevin Scott, penciler Scott Eaton, and inker Norm Rapmud. The solicitation for the Hawkman issue opens with the following. It says, long ago, Hawkman was the leader of the Justice Society. But what is he now? Still a hero or another relic in a museum? And this wording serves as the first official confirmation that Black Adam's JSA roster, consisting of Hawkman, Kent Nelson, Dr. Fate, Atom Smasher, Maxine Hunkel, Cyclone, seemingly isn't the first incarnation of the team that has existed within the DC Extended Universe. In the comics, the JSA originally began as an alliance between an array of DC's Golden Age superheroes, with a roster that initially included Hawkman, the Atom, Black Canary, Dr. Midnight, Starman, Hourman, and Wonder Woman. After superhero comics largely faded out of popularity in the late 40s, the JSA and their crossovers were shelved, only for DC to revive the initial concept of the team by assembling what we know of the Justice League of America, with its Silver Age superheroes. Despite the success of the JLA, fans wanted to see the JSA return, and they eventually got their wish in the form of annual crossovers, which saw the two teams joining forces from their respective parallel universes of Earth 1 and Earth 2, which in my opinion, Earth 1 should be JSA, Earth 2 should be JLA, but that's neither here nor there. The event, but this eventually followed this eventually allowed for stories about both teams to be told concurrently, and for the JSA to become a mix of its original heroes who had aged in real time. So, and second generation heroes like Huntress and Power Girl. And this notion of legacy within the JSA has continued ever since, especially as the team was later retconned to have existed on the same Earth as the JLA following the events of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Excuse me. Sada is back in the house. And but yeah, recent comic incarnations of the JSA, which we've talked about, as well as their appearances on DC's Stargirl TV show, have leaned into the idea of the team having been around for a long time, with new and old members coming in and out. But granted, as it was probably safe to assume that Black Adam would take a comic accurate approach to its JSA, especially when Hawkman has the ability to reincarnate across history. And Brosnan's take on Dr. Fate is old enough to have been on the same team in his prime. Still, with the ever-evolving nature of the DCEU and the fact that the franchise's Justice League were seemingly established as if they were the first public-facing alliance of superheroes, there could have been a version of Black Adam's JSA that was still in its early days. But luckily now, that doesn't appear to be the case, and hopefully the Justice Society Secret Files will provide even more context to the history of the team. But yeah, Black Adam will start. Will hit theaters October 21st. Black Adam, the Justice League Society Secret Files, Hawkman #1 comes out July 5th. So start picking those up. July 5th, start getting those Justice Society Secret Files one shots, because it'll be Hawkman first, and then each member will have their own one shot comic that is going to tie in and I think be important, backstory and side story and stuff for for Black Adam and other DCU movies.
I agree. I'm a big fan of Black Adam. Hopefully this movie doesn't get delayed. Hopefully The Rock don't go crazy and storm in people's hotel rooms and
slap Will Smith,
play himself.
Walk up on stage and smack people. I just hope The Rock just keeps it cool. So we can get this movie.
He will. Rock. Rock's cool.
I just hope he doesn't play himself and he actually plays Black Adam. So.
Black Adam. This is true. This is true.
Thank you. Yes. Because I would hate to see The Rock as Black. I don't want to see that. Like, I have no interest in. I'm not like the biggest Rock fan. Like, I don't want to see. Like, come on, bro.
Right. Well, between that, but DC, like I said, DC's going through a major overhaul right now, and hopefully Discovery just does the right thing. Please. They pick up DC, they turn WB around, and we get some, we get some good projects out of DC, because WB is kind of sitting on a lot of things that they own when it comes to DC, and they just won't put it out. But it's Hollywood, and they're afraid. Leto said it best. They got to take a risk. Take a risk, man. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Marvel took a risk, and look what we got.
Yeah, exactly. And but to your question, to Leto's question, did you all watch Batman the Animated Series? And if so, would you put it over the Marvel cartoons? Now, that is a show that was out when I was watching cartoons as a kid. Like, I was definitely watching that as it came out. Like, I remember coming home from school to watch Batman the Animated Series. Like, that show was my shit.
Came on at 3:30. Came on 3:30, 4 o'clock. Yes, sir.
That was my shit. That was definitely my shit. That was my favorite shit. Fronting on The Rock? Nah, why? No, The Rock is cool. It's just I don't want to see The Rock. I don't want to see Black Adam. I don't want to see The Rock wearing the Black Adam costume. I want to see Dwayne Johnson playing Black Adam.
Portraying, acting. You're doing an acting job.
Right.
Acting. Yeah, not being The Rock, being Black Adam.
Right. Not being The Rock. Acting. Really being Black Adam. But no,
as far as what I
Wise, you know you can come in here, Wise, if you want to chime in. You got the link.
Well, Batman the Animated Series, we bought that up. That was like, I was in love with that. I own them on DVD.
Those are great.
I was in love with Batman the Animated Series, bro. Still am to this day. I think it was one of the greatest cartoons ever created. When you want to talk about somebody taking a risk, they took a risk with that. It was drawn on dark paper. Yeah, like they drew it on this special dark paper to make it black. 40s.
Yeah, it took place in the 40s. It had old cars. But I think like Dick Tracy was out. Dick Tracy was a huge phenomenon. That movie was huge. And it kind of brought that old school 40s gangster.
Oh, no. Oh, no, you're right. You're right. But it's basically, that's what you call gothic. Like it had a gothic. Everything was gothic in there. And that's what I liked about it.
Yeah, but I mean, the cars 40s. Were old. There were 40s cars. Like everything was old. They had Tommy guns. It was old.
Yeah, they had that old gothic 40s. Yeah, that 40s gothic look. And I love that. My very favorite episode is the one with Mr. Freeze. That was the first one I saw. When he,
mine they did.
Mine is Two-Face for sure.
Really, the Two-Face one?
Yeah, something about it just left an imprint on me. Like I was like, wow.
And I've watched it recently, and it wasn't as exciting and interesting as like I remember it being. But Two-Face was drawn perfectly. He was voiced perfectly. And of course, you have Mark Hamill as the Joker, which personified.
Right. That threw it over the top.
Over the top. That's really what hooked it up.
As far as putting that show over any Marvel show, it just depends on the Marvel show. Like I don't.
Yeah, well, if you're talking about putting it over Marvel cartoons, I put it over most Marvel animation is not great. Marvel animated shit isn't great. Like Straight up. Like, I think the only real Marvel shit that I really like is two things. It's the X-Men animated series and then a Spider-Man, one of the Spider-Man cartoons. Actually, a couple of the Spider-Man cartoons were not bad at all. Yeah, and then there was a recent one that was really good. Ultimate
was good. Ultimate Spider-Man was good.
Yeah, that was the
one. Oh, my dad hates that one.
Really?
I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of it either, but he does not like that one.
I never watched it until my son was like, "Yo, Dad, you got it. This is like really good." Like he was like kept telling me. I'm like, all right. It's like I really don't. I'm not a fan of the way they made the villains look. Like I'm not really a fan of that universe. He's like, "No, Dad, trust me." And I took his word for it, and I'm glad I did because it's very well written. Like the storyline's good and all of that. And Peter Parker is, I think he's one of the best Peter Parker iterations that we've ever seen. He's
I kind of disagree with that one. I think the one from Spectacular Spider-Man is way better Peter Parker than the Ultimate, because they're around the same age. So I would compare that.
Hold on, you said you might be right. Hold on.
I feel like that one is a superb Peter Parker compared to the Ultimate. I can't really compare it to the Fox because that Peter is a bit older, but that Peter is really good too. But it's just not a fair comparison.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's not. It's not. I mean, I liked the Ultimate and the Spectacular because before that we didn't get anything really good from Spider-Man, and the last one I remember that was good was 66.
Yeah,
it's not the one I'm talking about is Spectacular.
Oh.
That's the one I'm talking about. I just had to ask my son because when you said that, I was like, wait, because I was calling it Spidey.
Yeah.
That's the one that's very well written.
Yeah. It's really so good. Cool. And we just
so good.
Canceled it. And I think they canceled it for Ultimate to bring that one in. And I was like, whatever.
Yeah. But no,
that's why I always hold a grudge.
the Peter Parker from Spectacular Spider-Man show is great. And it reminded me sort of like Amazing Spider-Man, the live action Andrew Garfield iteration. It was sort of in that sort of style, and then I really dig that. Like Peter Parker shouldn't be just like a sniveling, I'm a nerd. Like he shouldn't be that guy, and he shouldn't be like super corny. Like he had a little, you know what I mean? Like he got some confidence. He got bit by that spider. He got them powers, and he started to get a little cocky. Like he's a confident dude. Like he's not. He's. That's why I wasn't like a super fan of Tobey Maguire's iteration. Not a big Tobey Maguire fan. Like I really like the movies were cool, but Tobey Maguire didn't play Peter the way I really dug it. I loved what Andrew Garfield did. Nah, Andrew Garfield to me is the one that personified what I think Peter Parker should be. But Stu, I know you got to go and fight crime. It's almost 8:00. You can. I mean, you can go if you want to, bro, but we're going to chop it up a little bit longer here.
All right. Yeah, I'll be watching you guys while I'm getting dressed. I got duty calls. Duty calls is what it is. But as far as the Spider-Man, you guys are right. Because before that, we didn't get anything but 66 Spider-Man. And then we got Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. That was decent. And in between that, before they came out with those in the 90s, we got those kind of like offshoot. I didn't like the artwork Spider-Man shows that weren't really that great. They were trying to compete with. Remember when Marvel, like in the late 80s, they came out, they had a Hulk, they had the Avengers, they had Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They weren't that great. Those cartoons were not that great. They were I actually thought they were like
Justice League or Justice Society from something like Super Friends or something.
Oh, Spider-Man Super Friends.
Super Friends was good.
Yeah, my dad really likes that one. The Super Friends.
Yeah, there was a good one, and the one that had Venom in it, where he was like he had like a little bit of blue and a little bit of red, like blue and red on it. It was that's just how I remember it. And his head like had that sort of.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I can't remember that one. But those were the 90s ones. Remember they had the Iron Man one in the 90s?
Yeah,
I didn't like those. I didn't like those. Yeah. Fantastic Four, they had a Fantastic Four. I didn't like none of those.
Yeah, I didn't like none of those.
I like the Fantastic Four World's Greatest Heroes. I like that one. But that's
For me, animation, I go to DC.
Yeah.
Live action, I look to Marvel. That's just in general.
Bruce Timm,
Obviously,
you got to take your hat off.
Bruce Timm.
Got to take your hat off to Bruce Timm. We got to get Bruce Timm on the show.
Absolutely.
You got to take your hat off to Bruce Timm, man.
I just want him to explain his obsession with putting Barbara and Bruce together. I just want an explanation. Like, he made that canon like the whole time. It's like, just let it go. Even when he did the killing joke, he did that, and it's just like
just to make it interesting. That's all. But anyway, guys and girls, I gotta go. I'll check you later.
Dude, I want to show you real quick that Kyle Rayner figure.
Whoa!
Where's that at? Yo, what? That's the multiverse joint.
McFarlane Toys is teasing their newest DC Multiverse wave, along with a brand new reveal. You've got Green Lantern, Blackest Night, Kyle Rayner. That's what we're looking at here. The legendary Green Lantern is a welcome addition to DC McFarlane Toys 7-inch DC Multiverse line. Yep, and it marks the third Lantern to arrive. Hal Jordan has not received a solo release yet, but instead released in the Dark Knight's Metal Dawnbreaker 2-pack, which pissed me off because I had already bought the other figure. And I really wanted that Hal Jordan figure. But that's how
I've never seen that figure. I mean,
yeah,
you're a lucky man if you got it, because I've never seen it anywhere.
No, there's a Hal Jordan 2-pack, and it's got the Hal Jordan Green Lantern, and then that Batman Dark Knight's Metal where he looks like Green Lantern, or like that Green Lantern Batman.
Oh yeah, I always wanted that. I always wanted that, Reno. Never seen it, never got it, never anything, bro.
So, I had already had this one, and then I'm in Target one day. Wait, let me move Kyle Rayner. So yeah, that's him. You remember this one?
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, you got lucky. I've seen it online, but I've never seen it in person. You got lucky if you got that one.
What pissed me off was I got this one, and then I'm in Target and I seen a 2-pack with the Hal Jordan I want, and this guy already. So I'm like, Todd McFarlane, that's fucked up. You gonna make me buy this guy twice?
Pay up, pay the money.
Right, he keeps doing it to you.
With the heads, like he does with the heads. He'll have a masked version and an unmasked version, and two different figures. It's the same figure with a different head. Marvel would have just put an extra head in the box. So that's why I'm a little bit salty with DC, but I still love the toys. I still collect them.
All right, man. Well, it's good.
All right, bro.
Catch you guys. It's fun. Peace.
Peace out, brother.
Peace.
So next,
I'm here. I'm multitasking a little bit, but I'm here.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna sort of go over what's going on this week. Okay. Monday we're having the Gem Show. So everybody that's watching, Monday you can participate in the Gem Show. If you want to come on the show and show off your gems, show and tell, you know what I mean? Just DM me on Instagram and I'll shoot you the link to the show. You can actually come on the show and show off your collectibles. But we have a couple of, guests coming. We've got Miss Parker, Redman's co-host. She's coming back. She'll be back Monday with some collectibles. Meth and Red fan, the leader, the head of the Method Man, Redman fan club. It's huge. She's coming. We might have who else was coming? We might have Jay Paris from Belly might come back. We might have I'm still crossing my fingers to see if Pharaoh Monch will make an appearance, because I've been talking to him about it, and he's dealing with some family stuff. Yeah. He's dealing with some family stuff right now, so he's mad busy with that. But if I can get him to come, he shared the flyer for me. So if you go to Pharaoh Monch, you'll see his story. He shared the flyer for Monday. So, but hopefully he'll pop in, because he's got the HasLab Sentinel. Shit's like this.
Oh tall. Yeah, the Sentinel. Yes.
Dude, I want that shit.
I really want to see that.
Yeah. I really hope he'll come on and show us that. But yeah, I want that. I wish they would make a damn Galactus figure that's big. They have a Galactus figure, but he's maybe, he may be like 1.5 feet tall. Like they need to make a Galactus that's like
it's only
my
fitting.
size. You know, it would be dope if they made a whole life size one.
It's only fitting.
Yeah, I mean that would be the proper size. Wise, you can come on too. But yeah, your namesake Jay Paris was on the show. Lockheed, played Lockheed in Belly. He came on the show a few weeks back, but he see if he'll come on too. But yeah, we got a couple people coming on Monday. And like I said, it's open to you fans, man. You viewers, if you guys want to come on, you can literally pop on the screen here, one of us, and we'll do this kind of thing here where we make you big and you show off your stuff. A big pop. Yeah, they have a big Galactus pop. They do. They have a big pop Galactus, which is dope. But the Sentinel that HasLab made, it's the perfect size in comparison to the Marvel Legends 7-inch figures. Like it's just how big the Sentinel would be compared to those figures.
Yeah,
that's why I really want it, because it just fits perfectly. And then my whole shelf of X-Men figures back there would just have to come down, and I'd have to build something around that Sentinel. That would be super cool, man. But yeah, I think before Monday, I like to set up my collectibles in like little scenes, like little fights or whatever. So I'll probably set something like that for y'all. You can check it out. I'm gonna try to pull up. Don't have no toys, no more though.
Okay.
We call them collectibles.
No, the more the merrier. The less the merrier. It's fine.
But no, and no, that's the thing. It's not just toys.
Yeah.
Cards. Like I don't know what Miss Parker's bringing today. She's not bringing toys. Collectibles, like anything that you collect.
Yeah.
That's our gem show. We'll show anything. Could be comic books. Could be. I don't care if you pull out your My Little Ponies. Wise. I don't care. Whatever it is, man. It don't matter. Anything you guys collect, bring it on. But yeah, this is a toy. I don't call it no. I'm not like I'm secure in my masculinity. I buy toys.
Yeah.
These ain't. But no, they're damn sure a lot better than the toys were when I was a kid. When I was a kid, they did not have near this kind of detail or articulation. Like they didn't they weren't shit. Like you can tell that they're making these figures for a more mature, older, buyer, collector. Because when you're a kid, little kids, they don't care. I remember like when I was a little kid, G.I. Joe was my shit. I played with G.I. Joes. That's all I did. I didn't care about Transformers or Voltron or none of that. It was G.I. Joe for me. Yeah, see, there's why. I still wish I wish I had my Joes too. Wise, I'm talking about I had everything, bro. I had the aircraft carrier, the flag. I had the Cobra Terror Dome. I had all the jets. I had the space shuttle. I had all the boats and all the vehicles. Every fucking figure, dude. I was like deep into that shit. I was heavy. Like Christmases, birthdays, that's all I wanted. Like as a little kid, like that's all I did. And I don't have none of that. None of it no more. But when I looked at recently, I looked at some of those figures, and I don't remember their heads being so proportionately large. Like their heads are way big for real. And they and I know I'm right because they remade the figures. These are the more modern ones. Like this is how in my mind, this is how they looked as a little kid. Like this is what they look like. But if you compare this to one of the ones from the 80s, heads are massive. Yeah, there's like no detail. Like their bodies are just out of proportion. And so like the more modern ones have a smaller, more proportionate head. They've got a lot more detail and just a lot. Ninja Turtles was dope.
Yeah, I'm sick. I got rid of my I had a Wolverine one and an X-23 one, and I used to play with those all the time. And then I think I got rid of it, and I was like, I don't know why I did, but I got rid of them down the line. Now I got to get them back.
This was my favorite Transformer back in the day. I would love to find a OG Soundwave with the tapes.
Oh yeah.
He turns into a boombox. And the tape comes out, and it's cool. This little mini one actually has a little tape.
Does it play anything, or is it just for show?
No, what it was the tape would come out, and then the tape itself would transform into another little like sidekick.
That's cool.
Like a little sidekick creature. Excuse me. Get back up there. Yeah, He-Man was another one that I used to rock with. There's a little mini Skeletor on his Panther. But nah, I was all about G.I. Joe back in the day, man. And looking now at the way these figures look now, they're definitely made for collectors, people that want it to look really dope. So they care more about how they look than they did back then. He said I had the Turtle Van, had Mikey Raph figures. Yeah, I never had the Turtle Van. I had the figures though. I had like Michelangelo, Raphael, Leonardo, Donatello. I think I had Bebop and Rocksteady. Had Shredder. Yeah, I had those. Like that was like right on my way out. Like that was right when I was sort of growing out of that kind of stuff when the Turtles came out. I think that's why I wasn't big onto like getting the Turtle Vans and all of that. Like I'm a little older. I'm 42 now. I think you guys are a little younger. He-Man was whack. I can't hold you. Yeah, He-Man. If you're a little younger than me, wise, like He-Man got real gay and whack. Like, by the time I was really old enough to really care about it, like it was all about G.I. Joe. He-Man figures were corny. They were real big and like they didn't have no elbow joints or knee joints. They were just kind of, real big goofy dolls. And I didn't, I was more into the G.I. Joes that had, knee joints, elbow joints, wrist joints. They could do all kinds of poses and they were small. They didn't resemble Barbie dolls in any way. Like that's what, they weren't dolls. I think that's what made them more appealing to guys, is that they weren't dolls, right? They were action figures. Yeah, the turtle blimp, I remember that. Sada, you stuck?
No, I'm here. I just gotta go on camera for like 5 minutes and then I'll be back.
No problem. Yeah, the turtle blimp was dope. I remember that shit had it was like a soft plastic balloon, wasn't it? It was like a real blow up balloon, like you blow it up.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah, the blimp, it had a real big blow up part to it, and then like a plastic, the car part where you put the figures and stuff. But the blimp itself, I remember you could blow it up like a beach ball kind of thing. Hold on, what's wrong with my mouse? Yeah, Mr. T action figure. I don't even remember if I had no Mr. T action figure. I think they did make some A-Team joints. You had to be a G to get the blimp. Yeah, that G was, you're not 42. You looked at, I'm 42, bro. Born in 1979.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're 33. Yeah, so that means, you're 10 years younger than me. So, yeah, by the time you were, playing with shit, G.I. Joe or shit, I don't even think, He-Man wasn't even a thing. But had the blimp and the van. Norrin Rad was a G. GC 2000 was good. 2001 G.I. Joe had the hip O-ring joint. Yes, they had the O-ring, which they do not have now. The new modern ones they swivel still, but they don't come apart like the old. And then what was dope was the old ones. What we used to do, like 1985. Yeah, I'm 79. Yeah, 85 was around the time I was starting to really get into G.I. Joe, little stuff like that. I think I was probably 6 years old, probably, yeah. And then like probably 6, 7, 8, 9, I was playing with G.I. Joe heavy. But what we used to do is on their backs, I think I have an old one. Let me see. Yeah, so here's an old G.I. Joe figure compared to the new one. There's a classic 1980s Croc Master. And you can see the massive size difference in the heads. Shush. Yeah, you can see the massive head difference. But yeah, they had back in the day, they had a screw in the back, and we used to take like a little sunglasses screwdriver, like a eyeglass screwdriver, small one. Take the screw out of the back. You could pop the chest piece open, take the arms out. There was an O-ring rubber, a little rubber band type thing. It was like a little rubber seal. It's called an O-ring that hooked onto a little hook that you can see here. If I sort of separate it, you see there's a little rubber band in there. So you would unhook that rubber band, and what you could do was take the arms and the head and the waist piece, the legs, all of that. You could take it all apart and mix and match them with other figures and create your own sort of characters. They call it kit bashing now. We didn't have a word for it back then. It wasn't called kit bashing. It was just making your own, characters and shit. But Thundercats ran the early 90s. That's interesting because they were big in the 80s too. But yeah, Thundercats, Panthro, like Thundercats is one that I really loved in the 80s. The cartoon, the figures were great. They're really expensive actually now. Like just to get some Thundercats figures are fucking expensive. That they had that car. It was like a big cat, like a big metal cat. That was their car. Dude, you had dude, I love Mum-Ra. Used to turn into this big buff ass mummy, or he could be the little old guy with the hood. Who else? Damn, what's that big toad dude? I remember all them shits, man. Yeah, them I would love to get some Thundercats, especially Panther. I want to get a Panthro figure. But yeah, man, they've definitely I think these toys, kids don't play with them. Like who hasn't, anybody that has any kids, your kids don't play with action figures these days. Like kids really don't. I mean, yeah, maybe some do here and there, but for the most part, kids don't really play with action figures like they did in the 80s and 90s. Kids play with phones and video games and computers, and they've got their little electronics and shit like that. Kids don't fuck with action figures like that. It's too physical, right? They got to do too much work. It's too much. They have to go outside. You know what I mean? Kids ain't doing that. So all these companies making all these figures, they got to know it's 40, 30, and 40-year-old men that are playing with toy. I mean, we don't play with them. Obviously, I got a shelf. When I was a kid, I would never had them posed up on shelves like that. They'd be in a box, in a pile. You know what I mean? But now, for me, they're like little statues. That's what they're, little statues that represent my favorite, comic or anime characters. That's all they are. Just little statues. And I do actually prefer them to statues because statues are like $2,000 and these are like $25. That's it. Like if I could afford to have, that many statues, I probably would. But who can afford that?
Statues are real pricey.
Super expensive. I have 4, and they're about, the ones that are like this big. They were under $100. So that's why I really collect Marvel Legends, DC Multiverse, Black Series, Star Wars Black Series, Todd McFarlane joints, and G.I. Joe Classified. That's my favorite new shit. G.I. Joe Classified. Like I was super hyped when those came out. They're like 7-inch versions of the G.I. Joe figures. I've got, let's see here. We got Lady J, we got the Bat, we got Cobra Commander, we got the Trooper, we got the Alley Viper, we got Firefly, Destro, Baroness, Zartan, Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes, Beachhead, Flint, Barbecue, Roadblock, Gung Ho, another Snake Eyes. So yeah, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. About 17 G.I. Joe Classified. But I'll try to give you guys a little bit of a view. That whole shelf right there, that's all Star Wars Black Series. Stop that glitch. That's all Star Wars Black Series. And then over there, that tall one in the corner, that's all DC, Batman and shit. And then down at the bottom, there's like some random stuff like Mortal Kombat joints. I got a Pinhead, Beast Man from GI, the new He-Man, and then the big square joint right there. The whole top shelf, the whole very top shelf, that's all Wolverine figures. The second shelf is all X-Men, mutants, shit like that. Then the third shelf, that's all right here. Let's see, here we are. So yeah, that's all Wolverine figures at top. That's all mutants. That right there is all G.I. Joe classified, that whole row. This whole row, that's all Cable and Deadpool. Over here, that's all Spider-Man and Spidey villains. Down at the bottom, you got Thanos, Doctor Doom. Over here, we got some Iron Man, Sleepwalker, some other like Marvel, like Avengers type shits. Then over here, this little side shelf, that's all Spawn right there. Those are all Spawn figures right over there. And so Monday, we will get to see them all up close and shit. And then like over on that side of the room, way up there, those are all Funko Pops over there and right there. And I got a bunch more in my son's room, and then of course comic books over here. So we'll get to see all that shit up close. And we got my chameleon Zartan. He's shedding right now. He's like, yo, don't show me like this, man. I look like shit. And then some My Hero Academia joints on top. My favorite anime. But yeah, we'll get to see all this shit up close Monday. And we got a guy coming from the Mephiverse, Method Man's joint. I don't have Chuckles. I don't think they made him unclassified yet. The only G.I. Joe figure that I've got that are the 80s figures is Crocmaster. That's the only 80s G.I. Joe I have. And I paid like $40 for that. It's crazy. They're grip now. Like if you can get the 1980s G.I. Joe figures in perfect condition with all their little equipment, all their little weapons and accessories, they're like $100 for one figure, which those shits used to be like, $2, $3, $4. But yeah, quite a come up. Got to get a room like yours. Yeah, it took me a few years. Bearded dragons are cool. I used to have one. I got a crested gecko in my son's room as well. What's that poster? 1 o'clock to the baby Yoda and Grogu. That's probably Star Wars. That's Scotty Young. Avengers versus Marvel. And then, of course, that's Return of the Jedi poster up top. That's a giant Funko Pop Mandalorian down there, right there. That's a giant Mandalorian in there. And then that's a baby Grogu on top. There's some Star Wars Funkos, some little mini 3.75-inch Star Wars figures. Got a Darth Vader lightsaber. That's a swoop bike from the movie Solo right there on top. Couple of mini, Star Wars spaceships, little die-cast joints right there. But yeah, I will show it.
Hey, Reno, I gotta get going. I gotta head on out.
Yeah. I'm just gonna wrap it up. But
okay, cool.
Yeah. But definitely come back, guys. Monday we'll be here showing off all the collectibles. We got a guy from the Mephiverse. He's coming. He's gonna be showing some of his sideshow collectibles, Prime One Studios. The $2,000-$3,000 statues. He's gonna have a bunch of those on display. We're gonna get to look at. So that's gonna be dope. But if anybody watching this, whether live right now or on the replay, if you want to be on the show and show off your joints with us, just hit me up. This is my Instagram. Just DM me, and I'll get you the link. But yeah, man, that's our show, guys. We appreciate you hanging out, kicking it with us, and we will see you guys Monday at 6:30. Peace.